This is Lesson 1, Solving Quadratic Equations. It is section 6.1 in our textbook. We're going to start off by remembering what the solutions are. So in this case, we're looking at the solutions to a quadratic equation are the values of x where the graph of the quadratic crosses the x-axis. So essentially when y equals 0. So therefore, the quadratic equation has to be set equal to 0 in order to solve for x. And three solutions can occur for a quadratic. So the first type would be you could have two solutions. And remember that the solution are the values of x where the graph crosses the x-axis, right? That's why there's two solutions, because it crosses through twice. If the vertex sits exactly on the x-axis, there's only one solution possible. And if the vertex is above the x-axis, opening up, or below the x-axis, opening down, then we would have no solutions possible. Okay, let's take a look at our first example. It says to state the solutions for each of the following. So I have 0 equals negative x plus 1 times x minus 3. And the graph is shown below. So the solutions are where the graph crosses the x-axis. And I can see it crosses at x equals negative 1 and x equals 3. Those are the solutions. Okay, let's take a look at the next equation. We have 0 equals x times x minus 8. And so we have a solution at x equals 0, and we have a solution at x equals 4. In our last example, x plus 3 squared, we can see that there's only going to be one solution where x equals negative 3. Now, what connection is there between the factored form of a quadratic and its solutions? So let's take a look. Here's the factored form of the quadratic, and here's my solutions. And you should notice that they're the same values, opposite signs. So here we have a factor of positive 1, and down here it's a negative 1. Here we have a factor of negative 3, and down here it's a positive 3. And we've seen this before. You're probably thinking, Miss, I know we've done this before. And we did it when we found our zeros, which are also our x-intercepts. So we've already done this type of solution. And then we can go on and keep looking. We can see that for here, our x value, the value being added or subtracted to x right here, this equation, I could rewrite it as x plus 0, x minus 8. That would mean the same thing. And again, we would have 0, 0, sorry, I just realized I made an error. Apparently I can't count on my scale, so that should be 2, 4, 6, 8. I'm sure you guys noticed. If not, fix it. Okay, we got negative 8 here and positive 8, and then positive 3 here, negative 3. All right, so let's write that connection down. So what we notice is the solutions are the factors in the factored form of a quadratic with opposite signs. And we're going to make note that it's a same method of solving as solving zeros. So we're going to use the same method as solving zeros in our last unit. So it's like a bonus for you guys. You already know how to do this. All right, let's check out on the next page. It says there's different ways that we can ask how to solve. So remember what we're doing, we're solving a quadratic, which we're finding the values of x, right? So that's what we're doing, that's what solving is. Finding the value or values of x. And so there's different ways that you could ask. So here's all the examples. I could just simply say solve. I could say find the solution, find the zeros, find the x-intercepts, find the roots. All of those instructions could be asked. And then here's the steps. So the first step to solving is to set the quadratic equation equal to 0. It must be equal to 0. And we saw that in our last unit, if we're finding the zeros, the x-intercepts, we always let y equal 0. Okay, that's where y would normally go. We have to make sure it equals to 0. All right, next step, we factor the quadratic completely. Now let's look at our first example here. Step 1 is already done. It already equals 0. Okay, easy for us. And it is already factored. Step 2, done. So now we're on to step 3. Set each factor to 0. And this is what we did in our last unit. So we know that 3x has to equal 0 or x minus 5 equals 0. Okay, so we did step 3. Now we're on to step 4. Solve for the variable in each linear equation. So I'll solve for x by dividing both sides by 3. I get x equals 0. I'll solve for x minus 5 equals 0. That'll be x equals 5 when I add 5 to both sides. And those are my solutions. Okay, check your answers in the original question. So you can check by subbing it back in, doing left side, right side. All right, let's go on to the next one. So for the next question, we look, does it set equal to 0? Yes. Is it factored? Yes. Set each factor equal to 0. So that's where we're going to start at step 3. So we're going to write 2x plus 1 equals 0 or 3x minus 5 equals 0. Okay, step 3 done. Step 4, solve for the variable in each linear equation. So 2x will stay, and I'm going to move the plus 1 to the other side or subtract both sides by 1. We'll divide both sides by 2, and I get x equals negative 1/2. So there's the first solution, or the first root, or the first x-intercept, or the first 0. Remember, it has all those names. We're going to solve now. We'll move the 5 to the other side, and I will divide both sides by 3. So x equals 5/3. And there's the solution. All right, let's check out C. So again, we got to follow all of these steps. So first step, make sure that the equation is set equal to 0. Yes. Factor it completely. Already factored for us. Set each factor equal to 0. So there's the first step we're going to start at. Step 3, x plus 10 equals 0 or 2x minus 5 equals 0. Okay, step 3 done. Step 4 is to solve for the variable in each. So I'm going to move the 10 to the other side. X equals negative 10. There's my answer. And for this one, just the 5 moves over. 2x equals 5. And then I'll divide both sides by 2. So x equals 5/2. Okay, let's do the next question. So remember, we're going to follow those steps. I'm sure you probably start to have them memorized by now. So let's see if we can do it without it showing on the screen there. Okay, step 1, check, does it equal 0? Yes. Factor it, already done. Okay, set the factors equal to 0. So x minus 5 equals 0. And we'll just simply move the 5 to the other side. And this would be an example of just one solution. Okay, on to E. Step 1, make sure the quadratic is equal to 0. Done. Step 2, factor. Not done. All right, so this is the first time we're having to do step 2. So we have to remember what we did in our factoring unit. And so I'm going to use my chart method. I'll do it in green right here on the side. So I'm going to do x times x gives me x squared. And then for 30, I'm going to do 10 times 3. X times 10 is 10x. X times 3 is 3x. And they give me a 7x if my 10 is positive and my 3 is negative. And then I'll transfer those signs in. So there is my factored x plus 10, x minus 3. Okay, so now we're on step 3. Step 3 says write the factors equal to 0. And then we go ahead. Step 4 is solve the equation. So that will be x equals negative 10 or x equals 3. Okay, and we could go back ahead and sub it into the equation to see if it does in fact equal 0. All right, let's go on the other one. So step 1, does it equal 0? Yes. Step 2, is it factored? No. So we have to go ahead and factor it. I recognize this as a difference of squares. I can see that I have a perfect square, subtract another perfect square. So that means that the front of my bracket is going to be 7x, and the back of my bracket will be 6. And then I know 1 is positive and 1 is negative. This is the first time that we're using factoring in an application. All right, so now that I've factored, now I set each equation equal to 0. So 7x plus 6 equals 0, or 7x minus 6 equals 0. I'm gonna go ahead and fix that word or, couldn't even read it. All right, let's move 6 to the other side. So we have 7x equals negative 6, and we'll divide both sides by 7. And so we get x equals negative 6 over 7 as our first factor. And we'll have 7x equals 6, divide both sides by 7, x equals 6 over 7. Now you can see that this is pretty repetitive, but the reason that I have so many examples is to really get it into your long-term memory. If you're feeling like you understand this, I would suggest pausing the video and try doing questions on your own without me. And then watch the video to see if you got the same answer. All right, for our next question, go through that checklist, make sure you have everything. Does it equal 0? The quadratic, yes. Is it factored? No. All right, this one is 2 terms again, same as f. However, 8x squared is not a perfect square. So I can't do difference of squares, and I should be checking here for a common factor. So I can see I do have a common factor of 4x. And I'll go ahead and divide both terms. So I'll have 2x minus 1. Okay, from here, I'm going to write each term equal to 0, or each factor. So 4x equals 0, or 2x minus 1 equals 0. We'll divide both sides by 4. So x equals 0 is my first solution. 2x equals 1, and we'll divide both sides by 2. So x equals a half is my second factor. All right, let's try h. So again, make sure you're going through that checklist. Does this equal 0? No. Okay, this is the first question where it doesn't equal 0. We have to rearrange the equation so it is in the form. Let's go back up. We've been taking it for granted because it's been set up for us this whole time. You have to have all the terms on the same side equal to 0. Okay, so let's go ahead and do that with h. I'm going to move the 3 over to be with the other term. So I'll have 0 equals 6x squared minus 7x. Okay, top of the list, does it equal 0? Yes. Is it factored? No. All right, let's go ahead and factor. I can see that I have 2 terms, so I look for a difference of squares. No difference of squares. I'll look for a common factor, and I have a common factor of x. So I'm going to go ahead and divide it. Oh, I don't have a common factor of x. I forgot to bring my 3 over and write it down. I think I did, and then it disappeared. Okay, definitely don't have a common factor. This looks like I'm going to have to work with chart method. So the factors of 6x squared, I'm going to put it in green right here. So 6x squared would be 2x times 3x. And to get 3 would be 3 and 1. So let's see if I have here the 3 here and 1 here. So when I multiply, 3 times 3 is 9x. 2 times 1 is 2x, and that gives me a difference of 7x. I want it to be negative, so the 9 is negative and the 2 is positive. Okay, so I have my factors. So I'll have 2x minus 3 times 3x plus 1. All right, so from here now, step 3 is to set both factors equal